What is up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new video from a Russian citizen on what is actually going on in Russia today. Let's actually talk about it, but before, don't forget to like the video, subscribe. Let's get to it. A federal state of emergency has been declared in the Belgorod region, but residents of Belgorod region were also promised an explanation just a little bit later. The same federal regime has also been set up in Kursk region as well. Now, it's a bit weird considering that in Kursk they said that they cleared out everybody and it's relatively safe to live now, although they're declaring Belgorod and Kursk region in state of emergency. A bit odd if you ask me. Does that mean that Russia is losing some territories right now? Or the Russian news channels and Telegram channels lying to their citizens? Are we going to get an answer about this? I'd say we will quite soon, but I know for a fact that if you say that there's a state of an emergency in a region, that means that something very bad is happening. Obviously, the people who were evacuated from those regions, the victims, are now entitled for $150 from Putin as a one-time financial assistance. A state of emergency has also been declared in Ingushetia due to crop losses and abnormal heat. So I'm guessing there's a huge heat wave over there right now. There's a few places like Novosibirsk where they also has set up this regime. The thing is, what is quite interesting is that the Russian government puts states of emergency usually in places where there's abnormal heat, like in Ingushetia, or some problems with water or flooding. But instead of having your borders locked up and closed, while having the Ukrainians armed forces to be in charge of the Russian regions, they just set up some sort of a state of emergency, just like there's another forest fire or a flood. It's like something that has been already expected by them already. So it seems like the government is understanding right now that they are at a huge loss, so they have to somehow wiggle around the citizens while feeding them propaganda so that they would still believe whatever is said on television, which is very hard when you actually see troops from another country capturing towns and cities of where you live or your family and friends live. Remember yesterday's video, guys, when I was talking about Kursk region hiring trench diggers and people who set up anti-tank, whatever the heck those constructions are called? The Kursk region authorities deny the fact that it's them who are hiring those people. And they have said that they would be using other sources and other channels of hiring such qualified professionals. They have also said that those ads have been put there by construction companies, but it seems like from a little bit of investigation, their accounts have never been compromised before. But the Russian service, like a Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, decided to hide away all those ads without notifying anybody. So they just hid those ads because they started realizing that maybe ordinary Russian people are noticing something happening. Why would you need trench diggers? Why do you need this? Why do you need that? We're hearing in Russia, people are hearing from the Russian news that Russia is recapturing all those regions that Ukraine has captured, which is not true whatsoever. It seems like the Ukrainians are advancing. Now, if you remember also in another one of my videos when I was talking about YouTube being blocked and that the Russian law now, if you're a Russian citizen and you make videos on YouTube or Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and you have more than 10,000 followers, you need to get yourself registered with the government. And not only that, even when you're registered, you can only cite, so for example, you want to cite somebody saying something about the Kursk situation, and they're not in the Russian state media, they are not registered with the government. You cannot do that. It only has to be coming from either an influencer who's registered with the government, a official Russian television channel or media, whatever, or the government itself. So if you quote somebody else or cite somebody else who is not registered or seen in Russia as media or somebody trustworthy, you could probably get in trouble. So we could see how the democracy is unveiling in Russia when you cannot quote somebody unless they're registered with the government. Did I see this somewhere? Was that North Korea? Probably. So you could see every single day it is getting worse and worse. And there's not much we could do about it. There's not much we could do about it. It's gone in so far in that unless it just starts falling down like a deck of cards, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen before that. It's very hard to change the system with the people working in it. Imagine changing the government in Russia right now. You would have to literally take away everybody. Ministers, prime ministers, heads of this, heads of that, because all of them have this one mindset of corruption, getting things done, having your friend work with you without him knowing anything about the job, getting him in because he's your friend and all sorts of stuff. So this is where the Russian government is taking it to. Complete democracy, as I call it. Russians are also leaving negative reviews about YouTube supposedly leaving Russia, although they have not used their one brain cell to check out the news that even Russia posts itself. Russia has stated that they are slowing down YouTube and then banning it so that people won't be able to use it because of the videos and information that they post there does not work with the Russian laws. They did not check it out, so they think that YouTube is the one blocking Russia. Could you imagine that? It's crazy how people think of it this way. And a lot of the comments, the reviews that I've seen were saying stuff like, oh, do you realize you have banned us Russians? That is 50% of users on YouTube. And I'm like, why wouldn't you just write 95% then? Because some people think that if something doesn't work in Russia, that's like 50% of the population. That is not how it works. It's crazy. I'm really against the banning of YouTube in Russia, and I think that is one of the worst things you could do to freedom of speech, to getting some information out of the internet, and just educational content in general. So it is just very bad, and unbelievable what is happening in Russia right now with all this stuff happening. Now I'm going to read you out some news about what is going in the Kursk region and what is Ukraine doing in the Kursk region right now. The armed forces of Ukraine have created a military commandant's office in the territories occupied in the Kursk region. This was reported by the commander-in-chief of the Ukrainian army, Alexander Syrsky, during a report to Zelensky. It was headed by Major General Edward Moskalov, former commander of the Joint Forces Operation, as the commander-in-chief of the Ukrainian army. Alexander Syrsky stated the commandant's office was organized to maintain law and order and meet the primary needs of the population. Syrsky also claims that 82 settlements in the Kursk region are currently under Ukraine's control, and the depth of penetration of the Ukrainian armed forces into Russian territory is 35 kilometers. So they're saying 82 settlements. Yesterday when I was making a video, it was 74. So we could see they are advancing very quick inside Russia. Does this mean that some Russian citizens will have some sort of a spark going inside of their brain thinking, maybe it's our government's fault that all of this is happening? Maybe we could do something about it. Nope, that is not going to happen. Just because we have people like Mironov in Russia. State Duma deputy from the United Russia, Vitaly Mironov, called on those evacuated from the Kursk and Belgorod regions to show that they are men and sign a contract with the Russian Defense Ministry. The parliamentarian believes that the border region will definitely return to normal life, but in his opinion, this can be achieved faster if the male population of the affected regions joins the ranks of the Russian army. You could see that the people who were living in Kursk region obviously did not want to get involved with the war. That is a big reason why a lot of people there do not want to join the Russian army, because they know that it's a matter of time that you just disappear there. You disappear. It's a war. People die in wars and nobody wants to get involved in that. And what I don't understand is this guy, Vitaly, right? The State Duma deputy. Why don't you go there and defend? Why don't you send your sons to go and defend? Because then it'll be faster to achieve whatever you wanted to achieve. Why are you sending over Russian citizens, but you guys are not sending over your children? You're just sending over some people that you don't know. What the heck are you thinking? Do you think that normal, ordinary people are just going to be like, oh yeah, okay, fine, I'm just going to go there and lose my life just because one guy had some plans of doing something? Heck no, heck no. And I hope that people will understand. The thing is, I'm pretty sure because of this situation and because of the advancements that are happening right now, there is definitely going to be a wave of mobilization, and it's going to be a very, very big one, because as you know, the territories are being captured every single day, and at one point there's going to be a click in the government's head of Russia, and they're going to be thinking the only way to stop this is to mobilize as much people as we can so that we can hold them in and get them out of the land. I hope that doesn't happen, but it seems like there is definitely going to be another wave of mobilization in Russia. And if they do, the thing is, I'm pretty sure the government is actually scared to make another wave, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of Russian people are going to get very, very angry at this, and they could create a huge uprising. So it's very tough for the Russian government to make this decision right now. It's either making a mobilization and probably having a big, big civil unrest, probably, or not creating mobilization and having a lot of your regions being captured. It's one of those choices that they have to make. Let's see what sort of choice they make. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, comment under the video as well. And if you watched this video to the end, I would really appreciate if you could check out my Patreon. I'm going to try to post there every single day. And you might be wondering, why is this background a little bit different? Well, it's because I'm somewhere a little bit different right now. And you will see a video about that quite soon when I get it all done. Thank you very much for watching this video. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time.